I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there.
Alright, YouTube, what's going on? I think it's been, maybe close to a year since I've posted a video, blog, since I've blogged. Before I get to the main topic though, I want to ask you this question. Alright, I'm on Second Life, and I'm at the crib. It's empty. Nothing up there in my loft. I have nothing in the kitchen area. Nothing in the dining room area. And I have nothing, in the living room area. I just come here and change clothes. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to put like a DJ booth right up in this area so I can look out the bay windows. These bay windows are pretty bougie. Let's see if I can give you a better view. They're from floor to ceiling. Yeah, they're from floor to ceiling. I like that. I really do. But anyway, my question is, would you... Oh, I don't even have the body on this guy. Anyway, would you rather have a house that's paid for and it be empty, and you got like a pocket full of money or an account full of money, or would you rather have a house full of furniture, decorated the way you want it to be decorated, but yet you live in paycheck to paycheck? That's my question for you. Because in a scenario like this, no matter what happened, I would always have a place to stay. You know what I mean? Just turn the utilities on whenever I'm at the house, or turn the utilities off. You know what I mean? Whenever I move around. And that's just coming from a bachelor state of mind, because it's like when you're just moving around, you can rent a hotel anywhere and chill there. As a matter of fact, I found out that it is less expensive to live on a yacht. Ain't that something? You go live on a yacht. So anyway, this topic that I want to talk about right now has been on my mind since the beginning of the year. I kept watching this commercial come on, and it always triggered a thought like, first of all, who was this commercial trying to cater to? You know, who is this commercial trying to get attention from? Okay, so what it is it's two adults, a male and a female. They're in the backyard, and there's three kids, and they got on some costumes. It wasn't Halloween. It was nowhere close to Halloween, but they got on costumes. All right, and they're dancing, and one of the kids is playing the kazoo to a song from DMX, and it's that track, "Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind, up in here, up in here." All right. Now this got me thinking. These are not melanated kids. It's not a melanated family. You know, you wouldn't typically see, you know, a family like this listening to hip hop and dancing to it like they grew up to it. So once again, you know, I'm pondering, and I'm like, yeah, who are they catering this to? You know, and then what bothers me is I'm sitting there like, okay, y'all gonna sit up here and really let your kids listen to this hip hop track, and even if it is radio edited, you know, edited for the radio, it's still not kid friendly. It just ain't. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, they got one of the kids hunching the ground. Seriously, the kid was hunching the ground. So I'm watching this video, and yes, I'm triggered because I'm looking at all this and I can't get any answers. You know what I mean? For whoever was around me, you know, it's like it would have been, I don't know. I didn't want to ask them. You know, I wasn't trying to have any conversation like that with them. So I don't know. It's just strange because I constantly try to remind any kids that I'm around that TV is not catered for kids, not even for young adults. I'll give it to some kids, to some young adults, because they are wise beyond their age. You know, they're the type of kids that don't get in trouble much at all, basically. They're not the type of kids that you gotta supervise. You know what I'm saying? You teach them what you need to teach them. They get it. And y'all move on. And that kid is basically like I said, wise beyond their age. And there's some kids that can listen to music and know what's going on without it influencing them. And then there's some kids that listen to it and it's like you ask them, you know, what is this person rapping about? What is this person, you know, singing about? And then you go and ask that kid, well, what do you get out of this? And they'll answer honestly. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not a right or wrong answer, but you get to see how honest that kid will be. And you'll get to see what level of maturity that kid is on. You know what I mean? But when you sit there and you think about most kids, you ask them, yo, what are you getting out of this? And they'll basically say it's just a song. And it's like, no, it's not just a song. And then they really won't understand. And then it turns into either a learning lesson or a challenge. So that's why whenever I kept seeing that commercial, I was just like, yo, you know, I wonder how many parents or mentors, you know, anybody that was around kids, I wonder how many of them took the time to explain what was going on in that video. So the kid won't just think that everything is is all good. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not all good because you shouldn't be seeing this. You know what I mean? It's not for you. It's not intended for you. And I doubt that happens. And I wish it would happen more, but it's not. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, if we want to get better as a people, then we gotta start with everyone putting in work, everyone helping everyone out, especially with the youth. They used to say that it takes a village to raise a child. And we used to do that. as far as when we were segregated, your neighbor was your neighbor, and your neighbor was the type of neighbor that would look out for your kid's safety. You know what I'm saying? Because we all had one basic enemy. All right? And so now, here it is, damn near in the 22nd century, and we're in this war between the haves and the have-nots, and yet every time we look up, there's someone dying, there's someone being sent to prison, and then there's someone that is not being reported about. What I mean by that is news channels, they're out for ratings, so they scan through the reports that they're going to talk about that night, that afternoon, or that morning, and they only talk about the things that will get people's attention and hold on to their attention. And it's like, man, this is crazy. Man, this is crazy. And then I have to believe that, okay, let's say there was a report, a morning report. Well, if it had a lot of ratings, then they might show it again that afternoon. Or if it was something that happened that afternoon, they might show it again that evening. Or if it happened that evening, it might show again in the early, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it on our minds. But yet, out of all the things that happened that morning, that afternoon, or that evening, they won't report it. It could be some of the best things out of life. You know what I'm saying? It don't even have to be from our country, but they won't report it. If it's local news, look at all the kids that got good report cards. Look at all the kids that did something for a family member. Look at all the kids that did something good for themselves. Look at all the kids that did something good for a neighbor or a peer. And they won't report that. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how many phone calls the local news channel get about these good stories. You know what I mean? So when I go back and when I think about this commercial of kids partying, dancing to an adult song, and you really, man, please, if you can, take the time to look up that song from DMX. And I don't know the title of it, but y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here. You know what I'm saying? And check to see if DMX breaks down the song, something like behind the lyrics, and see where his mind was at whenever he wrote that song. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, if you're from the street, then you don't need nobody to explain what it is, because we've been through it. You know what I mean? We've been through it. So I don't want to glorify that, so I'm not going to get in deep with it. I'm just asking you to do some research and find out, what that song is about, so that way you can understand why that would bother a person like me to see some kids, really just jamming out to it, or to see two people in an adult's position. I mean, in a parent's position, just letting these kids really go at it. And then to allow a kid to lay on the ground and hunch the ground? For real? I'm like, look at all the pedophiles that are out there snatching kids just so they can dance like that in their own dungeons, and you know what I'm saying? That's wicked shit. Look at all the rich people who want to be entertained by that. Look at all the poor people that want to be entertained by that. That is a fetish to some people. And it's like they put it on TV like it's no problem at all. Come on, man. For real, for real? So anyway, I'm going to just leave you with that. I gave you the Alexa, stop. I gave you the who, what, when, where, and why. I'm going to give you my disclaimer right now. This is my disclaimer. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not the dumbest person either. I've done my research on some things, and there's a whole lot of things that I want to do my research on, but I do not trust the sources that I would have to get that research from, because those sources could be tainted. People could rewrite things. People could, basically that's it. Could rewrite things. You know what I mean? So that way, by the time I get to it, it is a tool for somebody else to make me more ignorant. Alright? But there's so much more about these sources out there that we can't trust. Alright? Because the haves, the people who have it all, they don't want us to have knowledge. And us meaning the have-nots. So anyway, what I need you to do is to question. This is still part of my disclaimer. What I need you to do is question everything that I'm talking about. Do your own research on the things that I'm talking about. The main little topics that I pointed out. And I need you to form your own opinion about all these little topics and things that you did your research on. The most important thing is that I need you to share your opinion with other people, because you never know when you'll come across somebody that might have similar views, but yet they don't have anybody to talk to. And I know what it feels like to be alone in a crowded room. Meaning, I'm sitting here thinking this way, but everybody else is looking at me like I'm the weirdo because they don't think that way. And it's a struggle. It really is. So, I'm, like what you see on the screen, this is Second Life. And, short story about Second Life is that on Second Life, you're able to come on here and do the things that you can't, or do the things that you wouldn't do in real life. I've been on here for about I want to say 11, 12 years. And I've done so much stuff. So much stuff. I've done so much stuff that I'm hardly ever on. Where is my profile? Profile right there. 12 years, 11 months. Sheesh. Yeah, I've been on there 12 years, 11 months. Been on here for 12 years, 11 months. All I do right now is I DJ time to time, and I do poetry. I read poetry time to time, and I got to get back into it. I've had a few people ask me about that recently, about whether I'm gonna get into it or not. Two people have venues that they are waiting for me to use. And when it comes down to DJing, I got a group that I don't have a group, but I'm part of a group that that sends out notices of whenever there's a club that needs DJs. So I'll always have a job as far as a DJ goes, and I have quite a few people on my friends list that have venues that I could go DJ at. But here's the funny thing. Right now, and this is where I'm kind of anal at. Like right here, all of these are songs, music videos. It's like 131 music videos minus these little pages right here. They come along with the download. But I need to listen to each one of these videos, and if it has the N word in it or the B word in it, let's say if they're calling themselves or somebody else the N word or the B word, I get rid of it. If they're using the B word, if they're using bitch, then it's got to be talking about a place like I'm in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I let that slide. But whenever I play music or whenever I do a DJ set, that's what I want to be different. And I don't want to be like other DJs, just playing music with the N word and the B word. Because it's like, we are not that. We might act like that, but we are not that. You know what I mean? So, I got a lot of music to go through. Got a lot of organizing to do. When it comes down to clubs that I could go DJ at, each one of these folders would be a different club that I could DJ at. Because it's a genre. Somebody might want a blues DJ. Somebody will want a DJ to play Caribbean music, Caucasian music, chill music, club music, crunk music, whatever. It's just whatever. But I want to be ready. And I'm tripping because I already have so much music. So I'm bugging out. I could be DJing right now. I got the time. I got the space. It's quiet in my house. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna finish this video. I'm gonna edit it, And before I do all that, I'm gonna watch these two females fight. Because, I like watching females fight, as far as mixed martial arts. It's nothing like watching a woman who knows how to defend herself, because we are in a dangerous world and there's a lot of men and women trying to snag women. But I would love to see a kidnapper just get their ass whooped because they picked the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, they really picked the wrong one. It's like, why don't they put that on the news? A kidnapping attempt gone wrong. Kidnapper jumps out, tries to snag a woman. Next thing you know, they're on the ground in a triangle. You know what I'm saying? Or in an arm bar. You know what I'm saying? Or they got choked out. You know what I mean? Or they're in an ankle lock. They had to pull the victim off of the kidnapper. You know what I'm saying? That shit I want to see on the news. I'd be like, yeah. You know what I mean? Because if I had a daughter, most definitely, man, I would love to look at her trophy wall. You know what I'm saying? From all her trophies, from tournaments, from doing mixed martial arts, or just one specific martial art. Because it's like, yo, as much as we could tell, my daughter would be able to handle herself, not unless, if there was a gun or something else, she might be able to defend herself still. But like they say, taking a knife to a gunfight, there's not a equal balance there. You know what I mean? There's just so many levels of getting hurt. Now, mind you, you can hurt a person with your hands, but nah, I wouldn't. Oof. Just thinking about it it's shaking, and I don't even have a daughter. So anyway, I want my son to be able to defend himself too. But I'm gonna get off of here, and I want y'all to be careful out there. I want you to keep striving to be the best person that you can be. Alright? So, I'm gonna get out of here. You have a good day. You have a good night. You have a good morning. Peace.